What's going on, y'all? Today we're going to be going over full day of eating, what I eat currently in my calorie deficit. Going to show my training, do a shoulder day today, and yeah. So here today we're going to be making for breakfast some breakfast burritos with some hash browns that I really like to make. And personally, I absolutely love them. I normally make them only on the weekends when I have a little bit more time because I wake up about 5 seconds before I have to clock into work. So I normally don't have time to make them in the morning during the week, but on the weekends I normally save some time since, when I do have to work, it's a little bit later and it's not as big of a time pressure as it is during the week. And let me tell you guys what one absolute game changer when it comes to making really scrambled eggs in general, especially when using egg whites, because I'll be honest, egg whites, you do have a little bit of a wateriness that is to them. They don't taste as good obviously as regular whole eggs. So one thing that's really changed the game for me is adding in whatever hot sauce you have. One that I actually used to really like, but they stopped selling it at Sam's Club, which I absolutely am so sad about, is this truffle hot sauce. But the sauce that I use now is like a ghost pepper hot sauce. It's really, really good. If you like heat, it adds so much flavor to your scrambled eggs. It's so good. And then also the wraps I'm using are the Extreme Wellness wraps. They're also so amazing. It's only 50 calories, 5 grams of protein for each one, and they are so amazing. They're not obviously as good as regular tortillas, but whenever you're on a pretty low diet, like for me right now, I'm eating about 25 to 2,700 calories, and I have to get about 240 grams of protein. And so when you calculate that, you gotta have a fuck ton of protein in pretty much every meal. I have a couple of things that I do, like my pre-workout. I'll have just like some rice cakes, so I leave a little bit of room in there. But honestly, I have to really fucking load up on the protein on all my meals. But it's fine with me because I love eating protein. But this meal right here comes out to a little bit over 800 calories with about 90 grams of protein. So really good. I'll put the official macros up here, but you're about to see me having just an amazing epic squirt of ketchup here that I just fucking completely missed the plate at the start, like an absolute motherfucking genius. So that was great. We're just gonna act like it didn't happen, wipe that shit off, and yeah, gonna go ahead and eat this, and then just gonna get into the day. Before I get into everything though, I gotta show y'all my cat. This is Zodi. Absolutely love this motherfucker. I've had him for a while now, and he's really grown on me ever since he moved out with me. Recently, I moved out whenever I went to college, I moved out, and my parents let me take him, and I absolutely love him. Fucking worship this cat like it's a king, and he is basically the devout religion of Mr. Zodi. So now let's go ahead and get into what I'm gonna have for lunch today. Alright, what's going on, y'all? About to make some lunch. It's currently 1:45, 1:47, and we're going to be making some protein pancakes for lunch, high in carbs, and it's pretty much my favorite meal that I make any day of the week. I always save it for weekends though, because it does take up a little bit more time than stuff that I make during the weekday, and I don't think they meal prep very well, so I have to make them kind of fresh. But I really love making them, and I'm gonna show you how to do it, how I personally like to make them, and what leads to my favorite version of my protein chocolate chip pancakes. It's really easy, doesn't take too long, but yeah. After that, we're gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna do shoulders today. Not feeling too bad. I had a pretty rough workout yesterday where I did full body with some heavy set deadlifts. I feel myself getting a little bit weaker ever since I started on my diet again. I'm like three and a half weeks in now, and slowly my strength is starting to feel like it's dipping a little bit. Not too bad. I did 405 for 10 reps, and then I did 405 for 8. And then I had 315 for 10 at the start, but I used to be able to do consistent 3 sets of 405 at 10 reps for deadlift, but didn't go so hot yesterday when it comes to that. Felt pretty dead though afterwards. I was worn the fuck out after doing them. But let's go ahead and get into making these protein pancakes. So we're gonna start out with some of the Kodiak cake mix with 1 scoop of vanilla whey casein blend protein powder. And then after this, gonna whisk this bitch together, and then we're gonna go ahead and add in a egg, and then slowly beat that in as best as we can before we add in the milk to finish it off. The milk, it's kind of hard to say. You just kind of go by eye. Depends on your protein and everything like that. So whisk it until it looks about like what it does here. I mean, about what pancake batter is. You guys probably know what the fuck that looks like, so I don't gotta tell you guys. But you have to also be a little bit careful when it comes to whey casein, because one problem that happens is it continues to absorb liquid as it sits. So you're gonna realize you're gonna have to add in a little bit more milk or water, whatever you end up using, kind of as it sits. So like by the time you go to your second pancake, you're gonna have to definitely add more liquid in, because the casein protein has absorbed a lot more of that liquid. But yeah, so here we just pour these bitches in. I used a measuring cup. I mean, I kind of end up I end up saying screw it for the second one because I have a weird amount of batter left over. But throw in those chocolate chips. I use 2 servings of chocolate chips for these pancakes, and then I normally top them with regular syrup, but this time I was out, so I used some of this chocolate syrup. And then I added in a little bit of this fancy whipped cream I got from Target. And yeah, that's basically it. Alrighty, so got my pancakes here. Took a while for me to get everything set up, so now it's just a little puddle of whipped cream on the side there, but also threw me on a chicken sausage, add some extra protein. I'll put the macros of the meal right here and go ahead and get into it. And then after this, I'll probably digest. I'll go get some work done. Digest for about probably 30-45 minutes. Try to go work out by around 3:30, something like that. Go get my workout done, and then I've got a little bit more work I've got to get done for school. I've got statistics, which is one of those bullshit classes ever. I fucking hate it, but I've got to get that done because I've got finals coming up here in a few weeks. So I got to push these the last couple weeks, get shit done with, and then yeah, that'll be it. I'll show you guys my dinner later today, and yeah, see you guys in a little bit. All right, it is finally time to go to the gym. Cleaning took quite a bit longer than expected. That normally happens when I get distracted or just I get overly perfectionist about shit, so I end up just fucking OCD cleaning certain things, and it still doesn't look as good as I want to, but I gotta hurry up and get to the gym because it's already 4:20, so I gotta hurry up and get the fuck over there. But before I went, I want to show you guys what I take pre-workout. So it stays mostly the same, sometimes changes depending on which days I do, but so for my non-main days being like, I do 3 full body days a week, which include the like big compound lifts, so squat, deadlift, bench, stuff like that. And on those days, I'll normally take 2 scoops of Rise Godzilla. So I'll do a massive spike of pre on those days, and then I try to taper it off on my non-intense days. So days like today, just shoulders, not too crazy. I'll do 1 scoop of this, 1 scoop of non-stim pre. I really like Derek's Gorilla Mode Nitric, big fan of this shit. And then I'll do also 1 scoop of creatine. I know that Godzilla already has a little bit in there, but I feel like there's not really any downside to adding a little bit of extra creatine. And I feel like because I'm a fucking big dude, there's not really any downside to me taking anymore, just to make sure that I'm getting all the effects. So 1 scoop of this, and then I'll take all my fucking vitamins, vitamin D3, because I'm a fucking hermit and I never go outside. So that helps. I gotta get my vitamin D from somewhere. And this is like pretty much a essential fats pack from Animal. Comprehensive EFA pack, whatever the fuck that is. All your essential fatty acids, all that shit, because I don't eat enough fat, especially fish. I never eat fish. It's not that I don't like it, I just like, I'd always rather, it's like, whenever it comes down to it, would I always rather have chicken or fish? And I pretty much always would rather have chicken or beef over fish, so I just fucking never cook fish. So I gotta get my fats from somewhere. And then of course, just a basic ass multivitamin to make sure I'm hitting all my things, because I focus a lot on my macros. I don't really focus on my micronutrients, not as much as I should really. But it's a lot of fucking work. And the food that I make that tastes really good and kind of like helps me the most with my diet are not always going to have the best micronutrient density in it. But for me, I still feel fine. It's not really been a big downside to me. I've gone times before where I really try to focus hard on micronutrients, and honestly, for me, the difference I feel is pretty minute. What matters more to me is getting like enough sleep and hitting all of the other kind of factors. And then if I really wanted to, I could go into micronutrients, but I'd rather just take a fucking multivitamin, take that shit, get over with. So I'm gonna head to the gym now, shoulders, and I'll meet you guys there. Peace. All right, so I talked a little bit about this earlier, but currently my training schedule is basically 3 full body days a week with I gotta have at least one either rest day or what I call a focused day, where on the focus days I do whether it's just shoulders or just arms, and it's not too much. I can't go too crazy overboard. Even this workout I honestly went a little overboard by how much shoulders I should be doing on a focus day, but wanted to make sure I had some good content for you guys, since I didn't show you guys one of my full body days. I'll get one of those for the next video, but my full body days are split up into my first main lift that I do is single leg press, which goddamn is that shit hard. You think it would be easy because you think of all these people lifting all this fucking weight on leg press, but whenever you just have one leg doing it, you feel a little bit like a bitch sometimes, but you know, you got to get over it, get those fucking gains. So you do that, and then it's a very much more even though it's full body, I'd say there's a little bit more back focused, I'd say, because you do some heavy T-bar rows and stuff like that. And then next day is squats with bench as kind of like the main thing, and then of course there's some auxiliary lifts in there for shoulders, traps, all that kind of stuff. And then the last day, which is my Saturday workout, which I always like doing the best, especially because I actually have time on Saturday, which is fucking marvelous, where I don't have to go back to work, because normally my workouts, I either, for one of my main workout days, I have to go on my lunch break and I do as much as I can, then go back to work, and then after work I go back to the gym and finish the workout. And then the other one, I still have to go back to work, where basically I'm supposed to be in class. I may or may not be going. We're not going to talk about that, but I have to get through it in that period of time. And then Saturdays are just glorious, being for the fact that I could be there for 3 hours if I wanted to, and just fucking chill. But yeah, my Saturday workouts are my deadlift days. It's definitely days when I'm the most dead. Even after all this, I'd say deadlifts, especially for the most amount of time, deadlifts leave me the most just absolutely worn the fuck out. But we're also doing 8 to 12 reps on pretty much everything for this phase. I kind of phase my workouts every 4 weeks for the workout plan that I currently follow, where I started with a strength phase. Now I'm moving up to a little bit higher reps, and basically by the time I get to the end, I'm going to be doing like supersets, 12 to 15, relatively lightweight, just up the cardio a little bit. And I think this times with my cut pretty well, where basically these workouts turn into more of a fucking cut by the more of a cardio workout than fucking anything. But after my shoulders, I did 30 minutes of cardio on the treadmill, just walking. I talk about a lot. Steps are super important when it comes to fat loss, because I don't like doing intense cardio. And then now we're gonna go ahead and make some chicken. This is supposed to be one of the most classic bodybuilding style recipes ever, but I make it taste really good, and I think it tastes absolutely great. So I'm just making basically chicken, green beans, and rice. But for the chicken, I use like a teriyaki type of marinade. Not marinade. I think it's officially like the one that I use is Korean barbecue, and then I'll put some like Japanese barbecue sauce on top of it at the very end, and it is so good. And then for the green beans, I use just some lemon pepper seasoning that I think makes them taste delicious. But yeah, so we just chop the chicken up, chop up the green beans just into thirds, make it fit in the bowl. And then really normally I wouldn't even cut that shit up, but I gotta make it look pretty for you guys. Plate it up, and that's about it. And then now we're gonna be making, because I still have a little bit of calories left over, so we're gonna be doing just some like basically protein oats, real as simple as possible. Literally 2 ingredients and then some water. Oats, protein, and water. I used the Rise Cookie Blast protein. It was my first time eating it. It was actually really good. But after you mix it, something I'd highly recommend is slap that bitch in the freezer for like, even if it's 10 minutes, it helps a ton. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat my dinner. I got me chicken, green beans, and rice. I got like 9-10 ounces of chicken with just a handful of green beans. I don't really weigh my vegetables because they're no calories, so it doesn't really matter. And then I've got 2 servings of rice, so 300 calories of rice. And then I got my dessert slash protein oats that kind of look like a little bit of dog shit, but they taste a lot better than that. So gonna eat this, then going to get some more work done because I've got a lot of shit that I gotta do today, and the day has gone by real quick. So gonna get all that done, eat this, then get sleep, get ready for the week. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys do like this type of content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.